You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 30th of July. India rejected foreign mediation in Operation Sindoor, responded with decisive strikes, reveals New Delhi. Viral honor killing in southwest Pakistan triggers national outrage. And Sri Lankan Navy apprehends 14 Indian fishermen for alleged poaching. And now for all the details. As the discussion on Operation Sindoor continued in the Indian Parliament on Wednesday, some major revelations were made by India's Foreign Minister and Prime Minister outlining the military, diplomatic and global fallout of the cross-border strikes. We have a report.
Indus Waters Treaty will remain in abeyance until Pakistan gives up terrorism, India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar told the Rajya Sabha during the second day of discussions on Operation Sindoor. Addressing the upper house of the parliament, Jaishankar revealed that on May 9th, US Vice President J.D. Vance warned Prime Minister Narendra Modi of a possible Pakistani attack, to which Modi responded that India would retaliate appropriately. Jaishankar emphasized India treated the issue as bilateral, rejecting third-party mediation despite calls from the US, EU and Saudi Arabia. He noted a ceasefire was accepted only after Pakistan formally communicated via the DGMO channel. Jaishankar also clarified there was no communication between PM Modi and US President Donald Trump, nor any trade-related discussion with Washington. He added that the recent UNSC report mentioned Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba and its offshoot, the Resistance Front, for the first time since 2019.
Sir, on the 9th of May, Vice President Vance called up the Prime Minister to warn him that there was, in the American assessment, a massive Pakistani attack which would come in the next few hours. Prime Minister listened and made it very clear that if anything like that happens, it would get a fitting and appropriate response from our side. Now, a few hours later, that happened. And then, sir, that fitting and appropriate response also happened. And that fitting and appropriate response disabled the entire Pakistani air defense system and rendered all their main airfields inoperative. Now, at this stage, we started getting calls saying we think that the Pakistanis are ready to stop fighting. So,
please,
Secretary
please.
Rubio called.
No, Mr. Surjewala, not allowed, please.
So,
Please speak.
So,
that will go on the record.
the response which we gave, anybody who spoke to us was that the Pakistani side has to make a request, and that request has to come through the DGM.
Earlier on Tuesday evening, PM Modi addressed the lower house, Lok Sabha, on Operation Sindoor, detailing the swift 22-minute strike by Indian forces on May 6th to 7th that destroyed terror hubs in Bahawalpur and Muridke, avenging the Pahalgam attack. PM Modi said the operation shattered Pakistan's nuclear bluff and exposed its military vulnerabilities, with some air bases still in the ICU. He dismissed Donald Trump's claims of mediating a ceasefire, asserting no global leader asked India to halt operations. Only 3 of 193 UN members backed Pakistan. Highlighting the conversation with US Vice President J.D. Vance, he said Vance warned him of Pakistani attack, to which he said if such thing happens, Indian retaliation will be much stronger. He added, India is a land of Buddha, not of war, but added India has put Pakistan on notice of retaliation after Operation Sindoor as path of prosperity and peace through firmness and resolve.
And as US President Donald Trump's self-imposed deadline of August 1st for trade deal nears to an end, the POTUS has said the trade deal between India and the US is not yet finalized and hinted at a 20 to 25% tariff on India. As per a report by CNN, Trump hinted at tariff as high as 25% if the two nations cannot complete a long-sought trade agreement. He said India has charged more tariffs than almost any other country over the years, but now with trade deal working out well, it will be good for the United States. While Trump has not sent any letters to India announcing the tariff imposed on New Delhi as he did for many other nations, he had imposed a 26% tariff on Indian imports before pausing it till 1st of August for a trade deal. A report by media portal 5WH suggests negotiations are in final stage, but the US President has expressed his desire to hold conversation with his friend Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi before giving the final nod. While both leaders have enjoyed a personal rapport, ties have been shaky with Indian Prime Minister skipping a requested visit to White House earlier in June after Trump's repeated assertions of mediation in conflict between New Delhi and Islamabad. Trump's hosting Pakistani military chief Asim Munir also made the relations rocky. India and US are major commercial partners, with trade between the two countries being close to $130 billion last year. And a brutal honor killing case in Balochistan has triggered nationwide outrage after a viral video showed a couple being executed by a group of men. The incident has sparked debate as activists demand an end to parallel justice systems in rural Pakistan and the government's inability to deal with it.
The horrific incident of honor killing in Pakistan's southwest Balochistan has sparked nationwide anger in Pakistan, as the video of the heinous crime went viral recently, showing a woman and man accused of adultery being taken to a desert by a group of men and shot down. This has also prompted the scrutiny of long-standing tribal codes and calls for justice in a country where such killings often pass unnoticed or even silenced. Civil rights lawyer Gibran Nasir went on to say that the government responded just because the video went viral.
I think we have to understand that the Pakistani government and parliamentarians and political parties have not really responded to a crime, but to a viral moment. This incident, as it is being reported, occurred some months ago, and as is evident from the video of the incident, it wasn't committed in secrecy, it wasn't committed in the remote area, it was committed in the greater area of the provincial capital. Yet we did not see any response from the local administration, from the police or the local judiciary. Only after 240 million people saw it on social media that the government has sprung into action.
Police have arrested 16 people, including a tribal chief and the woman's mother, Gul Jan Bibi, who said the killings were carried out by family and local elders based on centuries-old Baloch traditions and not on the orders of the tribal chief. Rights groups claim that enforcement of laws in rural areas, with tribal councils holding strong control, still remains weak.
मुल्की कानून में हर जुर्म की सजा मौजूद है और वो जो फेल है जो दो लोगों से मुंसलिक किया जा रहा है उसकी भी कानून में पूरी सजा मौजूद है। अदालतें हैं, क्यों नहीं ऐसा होता कि इन मामलात को बजाय खुद अपने हाथ में लेके दरिंदगी दिखाने की बजाय अदालतों में जा करके इनकी पैरवी की जाए।
Hundreds of such killings are reported in Pakistan each year, often with little public or legal response. Pakistan, though outlawed honor killings in 2016 following the high-profile murder of a social media star, the practice continues despite the closure of a legal loophole that once allowed perpetrators to escape punishment if pardoned by the victim's family.
ये इंतहाई एक जुल्म हुआ है, इंतहाई अफसोसनाक वाक़या हुआ है, जिसका जितना भी मज़म्मत की जाए तो कम है। और यहाँ पर अगर कानून इस चीज़ को अपने हाथ में ले तो कानून इस पर अमल दरामद करवाए तो ये इस तरह के वाक़यात आइंदा इंशाअल्लाह नहीं होंगे।
Moving on, a recent UN study on food security has highlighted Pakistan is among the countries worst affected by inflation. It states Pakistan faced severe food inflation from 2019 to 2024, with staple food and cooking oil prices soaring. We have a report.
Pakistan is among the countries worst affected by global food price inflation, recording some of steepest increases in cost of basic staples, such as wheat and cooking oil between 2021 and 2024. The UN's State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World 2025 report has revealed food price inflation has severely impacted food security, pushing healthy diets out of reach for millions, and contributed to rising child malnutrition in the country, the report said. Inflation in Pakistan has reached alarming levels, affecting everyone from rural areas to big cities like Karachi. Frequent price hikes are not only straining household budgets, but are also putting food security and nutrition at serious risk, the report stated.
महंगाई बढ़ रही है, घरों में राशन नहीं है लोगों के, लोग भीख मांगने में मजबूर हो चुके हैं, हर आदमी परेशान है यहाँ पर। आपको पता होगा कि क्या नाम है, यहाँ पे अक्सर जो राशन शॉप पे जाओ तो चीज़ें महंगी पड़ जाती है, चीनी अभी कितनी महंगी हो गई है, जो लोग ख़रीद नहीं सकते उसको, काफ़ी लोग परेशान होते जा रहे हैं इससे, क्योंकि ये जो चीज़ें महंगी होती रहेगी तो लोग चोरी डकैती और ये कई वारदातों में अपने आप को इन्वॉल्व करेंगे। वो इसलिए करेंगे कि क्या नाम, जब जेब में पैसा नहीं होगा तो आखिरकार करेगा क्या।
Pakistan's economy is on a fragile path to recovery under a $7 billion IMF program, requiring reforms and policies that resulted in higher power tariffs and taxes. Its annual budget unveiled in June included new revenue measures and subsidy cuts in line with the IMF conditions. Analysts have warned that higher energy and tax costs would continue to stoke inflation in the second half of the year.
Moving on, Bangladesh law advisor Dr. Asif Nazrul at a discussion held at the Judicial Administration Training Institute on Tuesday claimed that the brutality allegedly carried out by the then Awami League government during the 2024 July uprising surpassed the atrocities committed by the Pakistani occupation forces in 1971. Nazrul added that people did not see scenes of burning dead bodies even in 1971, but the Awami League regime demonstrated that during the July uprising. Further stretching on the crimes against humanity, he said that the injured students were shot dead with bodies burnt. The law advisor expressed regret after the statement sparked criticism and backlash on social media, the Dhaka Tribune reported. Nazrul, in a post on Facebook, said that it was inappropriate to compare Hasina's brutality with that of Pakistani military during the 1971 war. To those who felt I downplayed the Pakistani army's genocide during 1971, I express my sincere regret, Asif Nazrul added. The Sri Lankan Navy has apprehended 14 Indian fishermen and seized 2 Indian fishing boats, accusing them of poaching in key areas of the island nation's northwestern coast. The arrests were made late on Monday during maritime operations, the Navy informed on its website. Most of the boats were driven away, but 2 were boarded by naval personnel after the crews failed to comply. The fishermen and seized boats were later brought ashore and handed over to the Assistant Directorate of Fisheries in Mannar and Puttalam for further legal action. The prolonged dispute over fishing rights has been a source of tension between India and Sri Lanka for many years, as they share an expansive oceanic border without any perceptible demarcation. Fishermen from both sides frequently stray into each other's territory while netting their catch and ending up spending years in jails. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.